He's an academic who used to work as an official at the World Bank.
Being hopeless is not a part of our language. It has no place in our cultural dictionary. With trust and support, God willing, this country will find stability.
After 12 years of Western intervention, this election is occurring while the country is undergoing a violent insurrection by the Taliban. And Afghanistan is also facing an uncertain period as the date for the pullout of NATO soldiers approaches.
A bloody standoff at a Moscow high school has ended with the death of 2 people, and police say an armed student stormed into the school, fired on a teacher who later died. The shooter then held a biology class hostage and opened fire on police, killing 1 officer, injuring others. Authorities say the gunman is now under custody and the students have been released. CNN's Phil Black tells us more from Moscow.
Gun laws are pretty strict here, and these sorts of shootings, well, I've not known of another one quite like this before, but it appears this person has been identified as a student at the school, entered the school early this morning with a rifle, threatened a security guard there. So he was making his way through the halls. He met and shot a teacher who was injured but who later died. He then made his way into a classroom with about 20 students, a biology class. Now, while he was in there, other students in the school evacuated. The alarm was triggered. Police responded. There was some sort of shootout. 1 police officer was injured, another was killed. The police say that he fired 11 or more shots using a weapon that was registered, a rifle registered in his father's name. And in the end, they say it was his father who spoke to him on the phone and then later at the scene and persuaded him, talked him down, talked him into releasing the student. That is what happened. That student is now in custody. Now, as for the motive, police admit they are a little baffled. They say that all the information they've had on him so far is positive. They describe him as a straight-A student. But they say it appears that he was motivated by a grudge against a teacher, not other students. They are now investigating. They are searching his home. They say he will undergo a mental health examination, all part of an effort to try and determine just why he behaved the way he did in this Moscow classroom this morning. Christy.
So from what we'll now take our second break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. He earned his pen name Tiger Woods due to his sheer dominance of the Gambia's golf scene, and golfer Fakeba Drame ensured that theme will continue with another hugely impressive display in the Qatar National Day Golf Tournament. Babakar Senghor reports members of the Gambia Golf Association are now focusing on helping Drame take that crucial next step in his development, as well as providing an avenue for young golfers to improve their skills through school training initiatives.
The winner of the competition. However, there was no doubt in the top seed in the tournament.
With some of our local pros coming up, like young pros like Dudu, Yusufa, and my older brother came 3rd place, Alaji. So it's all a wake-up call. I wouldn't say a wake-up call, but they're all coming up. I would love to see all those youngsters. Dudu used to be my caddy, and this tournament he finished 2nd place. You can't go wrong with that. Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm so happy for him. I had the best final round group in most of my career, but this one, you can't go wrong. I have Dudu, who used to be my former caddy, and I have my older brother in the same group, and we have one of the senior pro Lyman Jame in the same group, so it was good final group, because we are leaders, so we have to go together.
Fakeba Drame's dominance of these famous courses has been celebrated in the past, but Tiger's supreme talent meant he will control events on the course for a long time, something that has become a worrying theme in his attempt to improve his game.
Tiger has dominated the game for the last 10 years at least. And in fact, I spoke to him, but I did say that for his own game, it's not good because everybody needs to be challenged, you know. And a gap of 16 between him and the second person, it really means that we need to, there are two things. We need to get Tiger out into the international arena more to really test him and increase his potential. But we also need to increase the quality of the other pros.
As well as the pros, there was also time for amateurs to enjoy a day out on the course, with Sadio Konate the top name on the leaderboard.
It's a very nice competition, and Qatar is a friend of the Gambia. We've seen what Qatar is doing for the Gambia, and His Excellency the Presidency Professor Alhaji Ejj Jammeh is a good counterpart of the Qatari king. And Mohammed, His Excellency the Ambassador, is also a golfer, and this is the second year he's placing the tournament. I did play, yes, I came out third in the ladies category, but I was beat down because two of us came together with 35 points, but she beat me on the back nine with 2 points, so she ended up getting the prize. However, in golf, whether you win a prize or not, once you play, you enjoy it, and I came out with good scores.
This is the first tournament in the year 2014, and with the GGA aiming to harness the potential embedded at the grassroots. They will do this with support from a former Qatari Golf Association member, who is keen to help transform the game in the country.
Where to find the kids? You find them in the school. So if they send people, send a pro, like for example, Tiger, with everything, with a mat, and give a lesson, you know, for 1 hour, 2 hours. So this is how to improve the golf in Gambia. And I hope in the near future to see the kids playing golf. You know, I have 2 daughters. They are 6 and 5. They started playing golf. And I hope one day we'll have a competition for the kids.
It might be a moment to plan for the future of the game, as golfers, officials and media members share a light-hearted interactive period over lunch, a time dedicated to the supreme talents of a champion golfer. For Grts Sport, this is Babukar Senghor.
And before we take leave of you, a quick reminder of the day's top stories. Leaders of the African continent have been meeting in the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa, to discuss issues of concern to the African people. The head of a visiting United Nations Security Council delegation has urged authorities in Mali to speed up reconciliation efforts. 2 people have been reported dead after a lone gunman burst into a Moscow high school and held a biology class hostage. And 11 former warlords and veteran politicians are gearing up to replace President Hamid Karzai when Afghans go to the polling booths to elect a new leader in 2 months' time. That was all in this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Do stay with us.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching Gambia Radio and Television Services, and I am your host, Fatih Janimbai. And with me today, I have members of Kombonof APRC Executive Committee. And on my far right, I have Jargel Sidibe, who is the Assistant Treasurer of the Executive Committee of Kombonof. And next to him, I have Aja Binta Kanji, who is the Women Mobilizer of Kombonof. I have Mr. Momadou Longs Jaju, who is the Executive Secretary of Kombonof. And on my far left, I have Yaya Jaju, who is the youth coordinator, Kambanorth. And the last but not the least, I have Aisatu Jifanga Jaju, who is the regional women's mobilizer, West Coast region.